Welcome to another segment of Startup Talk. I'm Tom Kindred. Startup Talk is a show designed and produced to create awareness and highlight the very powerful and robust business assistance and resource programs available right here at Indian River State College through the Dan K. Richardson Entrepreneurship Development Institute. On today's show, we're going to talk to the Indian River State College Foundation about a very unique event that they produce that recognizes entrepreneurial excellence. And then we're going to speak to this year's recipient of Indian River State College's Entrepreneur of the Year Award. So with that, let's get down to business. This is Startup Talk. Welcome back to Startup Talk. You know, many colleges feature and host entrepreneurial support and assistance programs like incubators and business assistance programs. But here at Indian River State College, we have really taken support of entrepreneurship one step further in creating a very unique event called the Entrepreneur of the Year event, which really reaches out into our region and our community and recognizes entrepreneurial excellence. And the group that is behind that event is the Indian River State College Foundation, and I'm happy to have with us today the Executive Director of the Indian River State College Foundation, Ms. Ann Decker.
Hi,
Ms.
Tom.
Decker, thank you.
Happy to be here.
For appearing again. You're kind of you're a repeat guest here on
I'm
Startup
lucky
Talk.
for
That's
that.
right.
Not often people
That's right.
get to be repeated on this show.
That's right.
So,
Quickly, just give us a little pathway to the college and to the foundation for you.
well, I spent a career working for the United States House of Representatives. I was always based in Florida. I received my 2-year degree at Indian River Community College.
Alumni, nice.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm an alumni. I subsequently ended up with my master's degree from Nova Southeastern University in public administration. So I joined the college a little over 9 years ago.
All right. Talk to us a little bit about your role, Executive Director of the Foundation. I've got that correct?
Oh, you do have that correct.
Okay.
We do lots of things in the foundation. Our primary goal is to support student scholarships, giving them hope and opportunity to finish their education.
Nice.
Of course, we do faculty support. You will see names on buildings all throughout this campus and in our other campuses that we have of folks who have made our dreams possible here at the college. But one of our most fun things that we do is the Entrepreneur of the Year event,
right.
honoring a local entrepreneur who's done well.
All right, so nice segue into that. So tell us about the Entrepreneur of the Year event and the program.
It started about 16 years ago. It was prompted by a businessman in Vero Beach by the name of Mr. Roy Lambert. He encouraged Dr. Massey and the team to get behind recognizing the success of local businessmen. Right. So for 16 years now, this year's entrepreneur was Mr. Scott Deal, right. who was the founder of the Maverick Boat Group. And there's a whole history of what he does. But what we do is go and start from the beginning. Where did he start with the idea? How did it grow? Successes and failures, where it is today, and the economic impact right. that has made on the Treasure Coast and right. in the state and in the nation.
All right. Talk to us, take us kind of into one of these events, because I know it's not just an average, put a meal out and hand a trophy. It's very involved, and you actually take some of the history and work that the entrepreneur does for the whole background.
Yes,
right?
When we work with the entrepreneur, it's very interesting because we like to surprise them with the actual award evening. So when we're telling them we need photos of their life, when they were kids, when their relationships with their wives, with their children, right. the pictures early of their business pictures, they're like, why do you need all this? Right. Because we're going to develop a life story with them. Thank you to the e-learning program here at the college. We take our own team, we go out into the community or around the state, wherever it is necessary, to interview people who were an integral part of the entrepreneur's success and why he or she got from where they started to where they are today. We then put all that together. We have speakers at the event who knew the individual. community,
Right.
business, family,
Partners and
partners in the business, former partners,
Correct,
new
right.
partners,
Right.
and then we sort of give them a mini, here's your life.
This is your life
This
story.
is your life story, and then,
Right.
of course, Dr. Massey and Mr. Lambert then award the individual the Entrepreneur of the Year event.
And I know the room is actually decorated in themes around entrepreneurs.
Well, and this year in particular, Mr. Scott Deal, of course, the owner and founder of Maverick Boat Group, what we had for dessert was a little cake
Right.
with a fish sticking out with a pole with a lure
Right.
at the end, and everybody got a big kick out of that, of course, reflecting the blue water
Right.
where they fish. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Now, you say 16 years for this event. Any standout moments over 16 years?
Well, I will tell you, for me, there was a standout. As the executive director of the foundation, my job is to raise money for the college to support all the college initiatives. And the most important thing that I ever learned from an entrepreneur is he went to buy a business. He wanted to expand, he wanted to grow, and he went to a bank to borrow money. And the bank said no. So he went to a second bank, and they said no. So he went to a third and a fourth and a seventh and a 15th. He went to 37 banks before somebody would say yes. Now you have to understand, this entrepreneur is from the local community. There's not 37 different banks in the
Right.
local community.
Right.
He went wherever it took to get somebody to finally say yes. When I used to solicit a donation for the college, my typical was, if you told me no 7 times, I gave up. I have a new standard. It's now 37 times. If you tell me no 37 times, I figure you're not going to donate to the college.
Yeah, what a great example of perseverance, I guess. And we
Perseverance.
talk about perseverance an awful lot in entrepreneurship. Have any other schools kind of looked at this Entrepreneur of the Year event? Have you had people kind of try to replicate this event?
Yes, we have several schools here in Florida, sister colleges in the Florida State College system that I'm working with them that are moving forward. They may not have quite an advanced program as we have,
Right.
but we didn't start out that
That's
way.
right.
They may be doing a breakfast, they may be doing a lunch.
Right.
I was contacted just this week from a school in upstate New York. They've asked if I could come up or could they come down. Would I meet with them for a couple days to show them what we do? I have already sent them several videos of the entrepreneurs for the last 2-3 years. I've given them a timeline of what we do. Obviously, it's very involved. And the school that I'm recently talking to, they only have 3 staff people on the foundation team. So I said, well, you may have to start out a little slower. But what it's all about is the recognition of that entrepreneur and their achievement. And they just don't believe in the word no. If somebody tells them no, they just kind of go around the word no to find another way to make it work. And that's the inspiration for me.
Right.
They just persevere, move on.
Right. And you bring up a good point too, because Dr. Massey, so often I've heard him talk about how our entire campus, really is a business incubator. And I say all the time, our president really gets entrepreneurship and economic development. This Entrepreneur of the Year event really speaks to that concept that our college really does have an entrepreneurial mindset. What role does your office in this event really play, and you kind of talked about this, in creating that awareness about the importance of entrepreneurship? And that's really, at the end of the day, what this is helping do. Is that a fair statement?
And again, the things that the foundation does is we support faculty initiatives as well. And let me tell you, I look at these faculty that come in with their deans or their vice presidents and want us to support a particular initiative. I'm like, what's the return on the investment?
Right.
What does the college get?
Right.
What does the community get? What do the students get? And sometimes it's hard to measure that when you're moving an educational initiative or a service learning initiative forward. But in the end, everything costs money.
Right.
What's the outcome going to be for this? And are we thinking about it in an entrepreneurial, business-like manner? The school is supported by tax dollars.
That's right.
Are we doing the best that we can with the tax dollars we have, with the private investment that comes in, to move all college initiatives forward?
A true culture of entrepreneurial mindset.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
In closing, real quick, let's want to give a couple of shout outs. Obviously, you guys do get some support on this event. It is a foundation event, but you mentioned that e-learning helps. I'm sure Michelle Abaldo and her team helps.
Absolutely.
The
President's office is heavily involved. Dr. Massey's executive assistant is intimately involved.
Right.
Scott Deal will probably tell you that his Maverick Boat Group is successful because of a team.
Right.
It's just not the foundation team.
Right.
It's a college-wide team effort, and I couldn't do it without the e-learning team. I'm telling you that right now, because they do the hard work with that video.
And you've got a great team at the foundation.
Oh, yes. I'm very fortunate, and we do great work. Thanks.
Okay. And as always, another impressive year of the Entrepreneur of the Year event. I was lucky enough again this year. I always cross my fingers, keep thinking I'll get a ticket. Very popular event.
Yes.
But I've been lucky enough to attend the last couple of years. Very impressive, and again, so inspiring for me to hear stories of folks who found a pathway to success through entrepreneurship.
Absolutely.
Built their own business.
It inspires all of us.
Right.
It changes our lives every day when these entrepreneurial stories, you're like, I can do it better. I can do it better.
Right.
So.
Ms. Decker, as always, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Great event, another successful year of the Entrepreneur of the Year event here at Indian River State College. So with that, we'll be right back with some more startup talk.
I absolutely love the fact that IRSC is a real college campus. Everybody feels pretty comfortable around here, no matter who they are. My professors, they help me out a lot.
I would definitely say IRSC is affordable. I would hate to be tens of thousands of dollars in debt at another school, having to put my future paychecks towards student loan.
As a working mom, the flexibility of IRSC's program was perfect for me, and as a result, I was promoted right before I graduated.
Apply now, irsc.edu.
Looking to grow your existing business? The Florida SBDC Network can help. The Florida SBDC's no-cost growth acceleration services provide in-depth consulting to assess your financials, optimize performance, uncover new opportunities, and accelerate business growth. Ready to grow? Visit us online or contact your local office to get started on your path to success today.
Welcome back to Startup Talk. Entrepreneurship and small business is so important to the local, state, and national economy. And we talked in the earlier segment to Miss Ann Decker from the foundation about a very unique event that the college hosts here, the Entrepreneur of the Year event, which really recognizes and highlights those entrepreneurs doing the kind of good work for our economy in our region. And we are very proud today and honored today to have this year's recipient of the Entrepreneur of the Year, Mr. Scott Deal.
Well, thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Scott, for being on the show, taking time out today.
My pleasure.
Now, Scott, you're the president, the founder, and the owner and the operator of a very impressive manufacturing operation here along the Treasure Coast, Maverick Boat Group. But before we talk about Maverick, take us back a little bit in history and kind of give us your path to Maverick. What's your professional and business background?
Well, I'm from Florida originally. I grew up on a chain of lakes, and I grew up fishing and always liked to fish. I went to school in New Jersey and graduated from Princeton back in 1982. Knew I didn't want to work for the city, go to the city and work, like many of my friends did. And so I said, well, I'm going to work for a big company and get some training, but I'm going to have some fun doing it. So I ended up in Miami working for the Xerox Corporation, which at the time was, one of the top sales training organizations. So I got to go through their sales training program and learned about selling things. And I also integrated in the South Florida fishing community. Ended up with this goofy boat called a Maverick, which was a flats boat. They were sold primarily just for bone fishing in the Keys and that type of stuff. Did all manner of fishing. Ended up leaving Xerox, took the boat to Fort Pierce to have it restored because it was a used boat when I bought it. It was pretty beat up. And found out, hey, you could buy a set of molds and be in a boat business. So at 24, my brother and I ended up buying the tooling and started the boat company.
Right. Give us a little history on Maverick. Now you've done a lot with the company, but kind of go back in the history of the Maverick, kind of a legacy product here along the Treasure Coast, really.
Yeah, local doctor Lenny Berg actually had the molds built from a previous iteration that was done down in South Florida by a guy named Wally Cole. Ironically, his son moved to Vero probably 15 years ago or something, and I ended up meeting him, which was an interesting process. But the flats boats were really sold strictly as the Keys product initially, and I took those, took them because I was the only boat I had. I knew you could do so many more things with them, and took them all over the Southeast and really sold them, and ended up buying my biggest competitor, which was Hughes, H-E-W-S, which had the Hughes Bowenfisher, Hughes Redfisher. Started a dealer network with that, whereas Maverick was initially all factory direct, and we went with dealers. And then we organically grew the Pathfinder brand, and that really caused some explosive growth.
Yeah, we'll kind of talk about that. Take us through kind of modern day, current day Maverick Boat Group. You've come a long way since the days of a single product line.
Sure, we still build the Mavericks. They're sort of, our NASCAR product. They're super technical. They're built with vacuum infused carbon fiber and Kevlar, way out there on the esoteric side. But the bread and butter of the business is the Pathfinder brand bay boats and the Cobia, which is the company we bought from Yamaha back in 2005, the Cobia offshore product line. We're doing very, very, very well with that on a national basis and international basis.
All right. Talk about the factory today, the manufacturing process. I know you guys are always innovative. You're cutting edge. What are some of the changes that you've seen in your career in manufacturing?
Well, one of the biggest ones is the level of discipline that we've been able to bring to what is generally a very undisciplined process, because these are hand-built products, and when you have hand-built products, you have a lot of human variability. So we spend a lot of time trying to refine our processes and standardize things so that the products are consistent and the quality is consistent from boat to boat.
All right. Talk to us about the team at Maverick Boat Group. What kind of staff do you have? And
we have Maverick has 275 employees right now. We work 3 shifts, work 24 hours a day. We've got many people that have been with us over 15 years and quite a few over 20. So people come to Maverick. If they stay 2 or 3 years, they're probably going to stay forever. That's a great company to work for, and I have a great team.
Well, I've been to your facilities, very impressive facilities. Oh. Talk a little bit about the 08s, 09s, 010. Had to be a tough time, and you guys absolutely came through better than before, really. Talk a little bit about the struggles of the recession.
There were a lot of factors that hit the boat business worse and harder than some of the other industries, one of which was the way wholesale financing works broke. So the lenders like GE, who did the dealer financing, ended up taking back all the inventory from the dealers and wholesaling it out through auctions, which broke the back of the wholesale market, which we're a wholesaler.
Right.
So basically we had to adapt, we had to do whatever to keep our people working. Obviously we had to downsize, and that was very difficult. But we took contracts for building patrol boats in Cameroon, Africa. We did boats in the Middle East. We did boats wherever we could find. We literally built products we'd never thought of building, inboard diesels, whatever it took to keep our people busy. And eventually things started to come back, and there was a thawing of the market. And
do you think that strengthened a company, strengthened the team?
Absolutely.
More innovative now? Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I spoke about the discipline, we had to learn how to do more with less, and we had to learn how to be as efficient as possible to be able to cover our overhead. So we embraced really seriously principles that we had flirted with for years, which are basically lean manufacturing, which if people don't know what that is, think in terms of the Toyota production system, where everything is standardized and super efficient. And that's what we do. So when we had the opportunity to grow, we were able to grow very quickly and very rapidly.
All right. Let's talk about some of your work and passions outside of Maverick Boat Group. I know you're very involved in some groups that support the fishing, recreational industry. Talk a little bit about those.
Sure. Well, of course, first and foremost is my family. I'm passionate about that, of course. But I'm involved with a number of conservation organizations that represent our rights as public resource holders. The fishery is a public resource. There are a lot of people who would like to privatize that public resource. I want my kids to be able to go out and fish, and I want my kids' kids to be able to go out and fish. Unfortunately, there's a lot of battles being fought behind the scene to try to take that access away and privatize it or exclude us from it entirely. So I'm on the board of the Center for Coastal Conservation. That's a federally focused organization based in Washington, D.C., so we'd work on the federal level there. And I'm very involved in what's called the CCA Florida, which is a similar type organization, but it's more grassroots and it's more focused on the state issues, because we have battles both in Tallahassee and in Washington, D.C. that are constantly being fought.
All right, great work. So let's turn a little bit to entrepreneurship now. Talk to me about your philosophy of entrepreneurship. You had some great words at the event the other night.
Oh, well, thanks. First, I didn't realize I was an entrepreneur until you guys told me I was, so I didn't really consider that. As I said, I just kind of got on a bus and, tried to make good decisions along the way, and just, it's 31 years later, here I am. So I've got all these employees, and we build products that we're passionate about. And certainly, you give the award to a person, an individual, and I recognize that, but without question, it's sort of a team award for the whole group at Maverick. We all work together. We all are team members. We work hand in hand and arm to arm, and so I hope collectively everybody is proud of their work that got them there, as I am of them.
So again, one of the questions I always like to ask folks like yourself is, advice to somebody out there looking to start the business. Follow the passion. Don't always, lock yourself into some strategic plan.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm sure somewhere right now there's a room full of people that are sitting there with their, their chin on their knuckles, thinking about some grand strategic plan. But for me, at least, that's not how it worked. It's just an opportunity presented itself, and you say, well, why not? Let's try it. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? You fail. All right. Well, you fail. But if you're successful and it's something you enjoy and you're passionate about it, the odds are you're going to work harder than anyone else. You're going to enjoy yourself more than anyone else. And those are definitely some of the linchpins for success. So you probably will be successful if you're passionate about what you're doing.
Yeah, a great insight. And I guess, finally, just wrap it up, the Entrepreneur of the Year Award, very unique program, been going on, I believe, for 16 years. You are the latest recipient of that award. Just talk a little bit again about what the award maybe meant to you and to the team at Maverick.
Well, obviously it was, a huge humbling honor to get it, and to go back and look at some of the previous recipients and to be in that club of company of, truly exceptional people. I was, obviously humbled and blessed, but also it was exciting for me to bring some of the team members to the dinner, which was spectacular, by the way. The work that the foundation did on that, and all the people. My gosh, I mean,
it really is an impressive event.
It really was. So if you haven't been to one, you should try to finagle an invitation, because it's a very exceptional event. But to bring the team members there and be able to sort of tell the company history via the great video work, and have some of the speakers that were so nice to speak both on the video or in person at the event, it was really, really great. It really was.
Well, Scott, I got to say, too, I've always been impressed with your company, and I happen to have a couple of friends who work out at Maverick, so I've been exposed to the company for many years, and you guys do great work, quality work. You certainly make us very proud here in St. Lucie County and the entire Treasure Coast, and no one is more deserving than you of the Entrepreneur of the Year Award. Maverick Boat Group is doing some great things in our community. So thank you for being an exceptional entrepreneur, and thank you for giving back to the community and giving back to the nonprofits and the conservation groups.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. And with that, we'll be right back with more Startup Talk.
At the Florida SBDC Network, our mission is simple: to help Florida businesses grow and succeed. Our consulting, training, and information services make it easier for Florida businesses to reach their potential. Whether you're currently in operation or just starting out, the Florida SBDC Network has the right tools, resources, and expertise to help you succeed. Visit us online or contact your local office to get started on your path to success today.
My healthcare education at IRSC changed my life. Now I have the satisfaction of helping others and the benefits of a rewarding career.
Using all the latest technology at IRSC got me ready for the perfect job in new media.
Earning my degree was just what I needed for a career change.
I'm using what I learned in a new management position with better pay.
Be an IRSC graduate. Get a great job. Apply now. IRSC.edu.
Thanks for joining us for another segment of Startup Talk. Remember, all the business assistance and resource programs discussed on today's segment are available right here at Indian River State College through the Dan K. Richardson Entrepreneurship Development Institute. For more information on the EDI and a complete listing of upcoming business training events and activities, visit irscbiz.com. That's irscbiz.com. From the Kite Center on the beautiful main campus of Indian River State College, I'm Tom Kindred. We'll see you next time on Startup Talk.